This road sign means A. The road ahead curves right. Slow down to the safe speed indicated. B. Divided highway begins. Slow down to the safe speed indicated. C. Merge. Slow down to the safe speed indicated. D. Winding road ahead. Slow down to the safe speed indicated. A. The road ahead curves right. Slow down to the safe speed indicated. These signs indicate that the road curves to the right ahead and that drivers should slow down to the safe speed indicated, in this case, 35 miles per hour. You are coming to a railroad crossing where the crossing signals are flashing. You should A. Stop and look for a train. B. Slow down and look for a train. C. Look for a train, then speed up. D. Do what the vehicle ahead of you does. A. Stop and look for a train. When approaching a railroad crossing, you must stop your vehicle no closer than 15 feet from the nearest rail if an installed electric or mechanical signal is giving warning of an approaching train. Be aware of other warning signs that may indicate an oncoming train, including seeing a lowered crossing gate or hearing an oncoming train. If you are following a school bus or tank truck, you should A. Pass them on the right. B. Decrease your following distance. C. Be prepared to stop at all railroad crossings. C. Be prepared to stop at all railroad crossings. School buses and tank trucks carrying flammable liquids must stop at all railroad crossings before proceeding, regardless of the presence of a train. Be prepared to stop at all railroad tracks if following one of these vehicles. Drivers must be careful when passing large vehicles and should avoid driving beside large vehicles for long periods of time. A. True. B. False.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
When passing a large vehicle, the driver of a small vehicle must be prepared for A. Loud noises. B. Excess air pollution. C. Wind gusts produced by the large vehicle. D. Falling vehicle parts. C. Wind gusts produced by the large vehicle. Large vehicles can cause wind gusts with a force great enough to cause direction changes in smaller vehicles. Drivers of small vehicles should be prepared to take proper corrective steering action when approaching or passing large vehicles that are moving at or near maximum speeds. When dealing with pedestrians, a driver must A. Make sure the pedestrian is aware of their vehicle. B. Always yield the right of way, even if the pedestrian is in the wrong. C. Yield the right of way only when the pedestrian is legally entitled to it. D. Slow down and sound their horn near a crosswalk. B. Always yield the right of way, even if the pedestrian is in the wrong. You must do everything you can to prevent striking a pedestrian or another vehicle, regardless of the circumstances. It is the driver's basic responsibility to be alert to pedestrians and to yield the right of way to all pedestrians, even if the pedestrian is crossing the street where they should not be. If an aggressive driver cuts you off, you should A. Call the police immediately. B. Stay calm and move out of the aggressive driver's way. C. Flash your vehicle's lights to let the aggressive driver know he is wrong. D. Use a driving action of your own to get back at the aggressive driver. B. Stay calm and move out of the aggressive driver's way. If an aggressive driver cuts you off on the roadway, stay calm and get out of their way. Trying to get even with an aggressive driver risks escalating the situation and increasing the danger. When preparing to turn left, drivers should A. Slow down gradually while checking their rearview mirror. B. Move into the left lane. C. Watch for oncoming vehicles and pedestrians. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. As you approach a left turn, signal your intentions 3 to 5 seconds in advance. Continually check your rearview mirror as you gradually slow down. On a multi-lane road, move into the left lane before reaching the intersection where you plan to turn. Yield to traffic and pedestrians and turn when your path is clear. When stopped at a red traffic light with a green arrow, you may proceed in the direction of the arrow if you A. First come to a complete stop. B. Wait until the light changes. C. Are in the proper lane and the intersection is clear. C. Are in the proper lane and the intersection is clear. You may proceed in the direction that a green arrow signal is pointing if you are in the proper lane, regardless of any other signals that are displayed. Before turning, you must yield the right of way to pedestrians and vehicles already within the intersection. If there is no crosswalk and you see a pedestrian crossing your lane, you should A. Make sure the pedestrian can see you before proceeding. B. Cautiously drive around the pedestrian. C. Stop and let the pedestrian finish crossing. C. Stop and let the pedestrian finish crossing. Drivers must always yield the right of way to pedestrians in the roadway, even if there is not a marked crosswalk. Drivers are required to obey instructions from A. Security guards patrolling parking lots. B. Other drivers whose vehicles are broken down on the roadway. C. Flaggers, signal persons, at construction sites. C. Flaggers, signal persons, at construction sites. Drivers must obey special signs or instructions given by flaggers. They are in place to keep drivers and workers safe. You are involved in a minor collision at an intersection. There are no injuries and there is very little vehicle damage. You should A. Leave your vehicle in the traffic lane until law enforcement arrives. B. Move your vehicle out of the traffic lane, if possible. C. Not move your vehicle for any reason. B. Move your vehicle out of the traffic lane, if possible. After a collision, if no one has been injured or killed and you can safely do so, you should move your vehicle out of the traffic lane. This sign means A. No parking. B. Divided highway ahead. C. Left turn signal. D. Yield. A. No parking. Regulation signs regulate traffic speed and movement, displaying rules which drivers must obey. This regulation sign indicates that parking is not permitted. To turn left from multi-lane, one-way streets and highways, you should start from A. The middle of the intersection. B. The right lane. C. The left lane. D. Any lane. C. The left lane. To turn left from multi-lane streets and highways, start from the left lane. When passing another vehicle, a driver should wait until the entire car they've just passed is visible in the rearview mirror before changing back into the right-hand lane. A. True. B. False. A. True. When passing, you should not return to your original lane until the entire vehicle you've just passed is visible in your rearview mirror. What should you do when you are going to enter a roadway from a private road? A. Blow your horn to warn cars you are entering the roadway. B. Stop with part of your car on the roadway to alert other drivers. C. Drive out fast to merge smoothly with the traffic. D. Yield the right-of-way to pedestrians and roadway traffic. D. Yield the right-of-way to pedestrians and roadway traffic. When entering a roadway from a driveway or private road, you must yield the right-of-way to pedestrians and traffic on the roadway. Traffic signs and pavement markings. A. Must always be obeyed. B. Are merely suggestions. C. Must be followed only when there is other traffic. D. Must be followed only when a police officer is present. A. Must always be obeyed. Traffic flow is controlled by pavement markings, traffic islands, signals, and signs. These devices inform drivers of conditions on the roadway and help guide drivers safely to their destinations. You must always obey traffic signs, signals, and pavement markings. If you are driving so slowly that traffic is backing up behind you, you should A. Decrease your speed. B. Pull off the right side of the road and let traffic pass. C. Not let the other cars pass your vehicle. D. Use your four-way flashers. As the percentage of alcohol, BAC, in your blood increases, you become A. More intoxicated. B. More sober. C. More coordinated. A. More intoxicated. Blood alcohol concentration, BAC, is a measure of the percentage of alcohol in a person's blood. The higher the BAC, the more impaired a person is. This sign means A. Slow down if an emergency vehicle is approaching. B. Look both ways as you cross the intersection. C. Always come to a full stop at the intersection. D. Slow down and be prepared to stop if necessary. D. Slow down and be prepared to stop if necessary. Decrease your speed as you approach an intersection with a yield sign. Prepare to stop and yield the right-of-way to vehicles and pedestrians in the intersection or crossroad. You must come to a full stop at a yield sign if traffic conditions require it. If you must park your vehicle in an area not usually used for parking. A. Park with your reverse lights on. B. Make sure your vehicle is visible to drivers approaching from any direction. C. Park 5 feet from the curb. B. Make sure your vehicle is visible to drivers approaching from any direction. Drivers are responsible for making sure their vehicles do not become hazards after they have been parked. Wherever you park, make sure your car is visible to drivers approaching from any direction. This road sign means A. You must travel through the intersection at the posted speed limit. B. The maximum speed limit under ideal conditions is 55 miles per hour. C. You must not travel below the speed indicated. B. The maximum speed limit under ideal conditions is 55 miles per hour. Regulatory signs provide notice to road users of traffic laws that must be obeyed. This particular sign tells you the maximum speed limit for the stretch of highway where it is posted. You may drive more slowly than the posted speed limit, based on road conditions, but it is illegal to drive any faster than the posted speed limit. If you approach a stopped school bus that has its lights flashing and signal arm extended, you should A. Stop. B. Proceed at 15 miles per hour if no children are present. C. Proceed at normal speed, but watch for children. A. Stop. If you approach a stopped school bus that has its lights flashing and arm extended, you must come to a full stop and remain stopped until the signal arm is pulled back and the bus resumes motion. This law applies whether you are traveling in the same direction as the bus or if you are approaching from the opposite side of the street. You notice a vehicle defect which may affect the safe operation of your vehicle. You should A. Correct the defect as soon as possible. B. Correct the defect when you can afford it. C. Drive the vehicle at slower speeds. D. Drive normally. A. Correct the defect as soon as possible. Any defect that may affect the safe operation of a vehicle should be corrected as soon as possible. Defects should be corrected before the vehicle is driven. Which of the following statements is correct? A. Use your left foot to brake. B. Use your right foot for both braking and accelerating your vehicle. C. You should always brake abruptly to ensure stopping. B. Use your right foot for both braking and accelerating your vehicle. Use your right foot for both braking and accelerating. You should apply the brakes gently with increasing pressure so that your vehicle stops gradually and smoothly. This sign means A. Left turn yield on green. B. One way. C. Cattle crossing. D. Two-way left turn. A. Left turn yield on green. Regulation signs regulate traffic speed and movement, displaying rules which drivers must obey. This regulation sign indicates that drivers turning left at a green light must yield to oncoming traffic and may complete the turn when it is safe to do so. If you encounter an aggressive driver, you should A. Challenge them. B. Get out of their way. C. Speed up. B. Get out of their way. Drivers must respect and cooperate with all other road users and conform to specific rules in order to maintain order and to avoid crashes. When encountering an aggressive driver, it is safest to just get out of their way. Always avoid competing with other drivers. As you approach the top of a hill, you should A. Speed up slightly. B. Prepare to stop, if needed. C. Maintain a steady speed. B. Prepare to stop, if needed. You may not know what is on the other side of a hill or just around a curve, even if you have driven the road many times. If a vehicle is stalled just out of sight on the roadway, you must be able to stop. Whenever you come to a hill or curve, adjust your speed so you can stop if necessary. This road sign means A. You are about to enter a one-way street the wrong way. B. School crossing ahead. C. Do not drive in this lane. D. Traffic turning left on the green light must yield to oncoming traffic. D. Traffic turning left on the green light must yield to oncoming traffic. This sign is used with a traffic signal to tell drivers that left-turning traffic does not have the right of way and must instead wait for oncoming traffic to clear. You may drink alcoholic beverages in a vehicle on a public highway. A. As long as you aren't driving. B. If you are riding in the back seat. C. If you are riding in the back of a pickup truck. D. Under no circumstances. D. Under no circumstances. It is against the law to consume or possess any alcoholic beverage while on a public road or sidewalk. Additionally, storing an open alcoholic beverage container in an area of a motor vehicle normally occupied by the driver or passenger is prohibited on any public road.